Alright, your aim is trash. You've been practicing at the shooting range for hours on end and you still haven't found any improvement. You're still whiffing your shots and you want to know what can you do to improve your aim in Valorant. Today I'm going to be talking about how to improve your aim in Valorant using Kovaak's FPS aim trainer. Before I get started with explaining the methods and strategies behind using Kovaak's to improve your aim, I need to talk a little bit about why click timing routines are important in Valorant compared to tracking. In Valorant, the amount of time that it takes to kill someone is very low. This is going to greatly affect the way that we're training your aim because click timing routines favors games that have very low time to kill, like Valorant. Now that that's out of the way, I will be moving on and focusing on some click timing routines for you guys to go over to help you improve your overall mouse movement specifically for a game like Valorant. All of these routines are part of Aimer7's Kovaak's guide, and I'll be leaving a link to that guide in the description below for you guys to use to reference to while working on these routines. Let's hop into game so I can explain to you the click timing routine more in depthly. Alright, what's up guys? So for this routine, we're going to be going over 6 scenarios for the click timing routine. And the first one is 1 wall, 6 targets, small. For this routine, you want to do it for about 5 to 10 minutes, whichever you prefer. Lately, I've been using or doing around 5 minutes per routine, so just keep that in mind. And I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of the routine right now. And the point of this routine is to make sure that your shots are precise when you're flicking to your target in game. And by doing this routine, you can improve your overall mouse movement and comfort in a game like Valorant, where the precision of your shot matters a lot, especially when you can kill someone in one shot or even a short burst. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the first routine. We're going to be moving on to the second routine. Alright, so the second routine that we're going to be going over is Tile Frenzy Strafing 02. So there is an easier version of this mode, Strafing 01, which has bigger targets, but since Valorant is a game where you don't really have to track the target much, and the overall model of the characters in Valorant are relatively small, you want to keep your training suited to those small models. So I'm going to go over the routine just a little bit, and you want to make sure that you choose the strafing version of this mode, because most of the time when you're shooting someone, they're going to be walking or running. Yes, they're going to be stopped into shooting at you, but I find myself shooting people more times when they're actually moving, and I think that this routine will help a lot. We're going to be going over another routine that's similar to this one that has more precise options later on, but this is going to be it for the Strafing Frenzy section. Alright, so this next routine is one of my favorite routines. It's Tile Frenzy 180. So the point of this routine is to help you with your larger flicks when you're close to your opponent. Maybe they're around the corner and you get shot at from the left side, and you quickly flick over to them. This routine is going to help a lot with that. So I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of this routine, and you can already see how much bigger these flicks are going to be. Of course, the verticality of this routine isn't going to be as helpful in Valorant compared to other BR games where verticality is a big part of the game. But there are times when you do have to flick upwards. For example, maybe Jet jumped on a box and you didn't expect her to be there, and so you're gonna have to flick up. This routine is gonna help a lot with that. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up the end of this scenario. We're going to be moving on to the next one. Alright, so the next routine that we're going to be going over is Thin Aiming Long Invincible. And this routine is on the more tracking side, but the reason why it's in here is to help you get a better overall feel of your mouse. And you are going to be doing some tracking in the game as well. For example, when you're going around a corner, you want to make sure that your movement is smooth. So this routine is going to help a lot with that. I'm going to demonstrate it as well. So this routine, you want to make sure that your movements are smooth rather than trying to flick to it, micro flick to it every time. You want to make sure that your movements are smooth along the side of the model. So that's going to pretty much wrap this routine. We're going to be moving on to the next one. All right, so this next routine is called vertical long strace, and this routine is going to help you get familiar with the vertical movement of your mouse. When I first started doing this routine, I had a really hard time getting used to tracking up and down, and I think that helped a lot, especially in Valorant as well as some other games, because it was really hard for me to, if there's someone that was like playing Heaven, or I had to back upwards or downwards, is really difficult for me, and this routine helped me a lot. So I'm gonna just demonstrate the routine for a little bit. You want to focus on being smooth again with any tracking scenario. You want to be focused on staying smooth, and so this routine is definitely going to be helping you get familiar to that vertical movement that I feel like games don't really tend to give you when you're playing in matches and stuff like that. So moving on to the next one. All right, so the last scenario that is a part of this click timing routine is Tile Frenzy Strafing 03. So like I said before, this is a more precise version of Tile Frenzy Strafing 02, and I think that this routine is super important because I feel like it's the most like Valorant. I feel like you're going to be micro flicking a lot, especially in a game like Valorant, where if your crosshair placement is good, then most of the time the enemy isn't that far from your crosshair. So I'm going to be demonstrating Tile Frenzy Strafing 03. So you can see the boxes are a lot smaller and the flicks are a lot shorter. So for example, let's say you're turning a corner, the flick that you're going to have to do after that is about this distance. So again, I think this is a super important mode to get better at improving your aim. When you want to make sure that when you're doing all of these scenarios, you want to make sure that you're keeping Valorant in mind, because of course you're not training your aim in Valorant, and when things like recoil and accuracy and game sense come into play, that's going to be helping you improve your aim even more. So you want to make sure that even if you're training your aim mechanically and it's getting a lot better, when you hop back in Valorant, you want to make sure that you're focusing on your aim as well as those other things as well to help boost your overall game sense and aim as a whole. Alright, so just for your reference, I'm putting a list of the routines on the screen for you to use. You can either use this or use the guide down below to help you keep track of the routines and how much time you need to be doing each routine. Also, using Kovaaks will help you achieve better mouse control and mouse movement, but other things that you need to improve on in this game is your game sense and just knowing where people are, because that will help your aim even more. I previously made a video talking about the methods behind using Kovaaks to improve your aim. So if you're really trying to understand mouse movements and understanding how to get better at aiming, I highly suggest watching this video that should be somewhere on the screen right now. Last thing, also feel free to stop by my stream if you have any questions or just hang out. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. PST at twitch.tv/BakeSharpie, and I'll be leaving the link in the description below. So yeah, have a great day guys. I love you all. Peace.